Welcome to Academy Answers Podcast, a show dedicated to inspiring and providing actionable advice on life, business, happiness, success, and reaching your full potential. Have you ever felt frustrated that life isn't working out the way you expected? Have you been searching for answers without success? You've come to the right place. Each week, we bring you perspectives, ideas, and actionable content. We share with you proven and time-tested step-by-step strategies to help you live the life you deserve and make your dreams a reality. From health to finances to relationships to business, we provide the insights and strategies you need to reach your full potential. So buckle up and plug in, because Academy Answers Podcast is about to take you to a new level of personal success.
Happy morning, guys. Welcome to the Academy Answers Podcast. Thanks for joining us and thanks for listening in. And this is the podcast where we talk about happiness, success, full potential. And I love that order because happiness is what we seek. Happiness is actually the be-all and end-all. People, there's a way where we have different angles. There's a way where we use different phrases. There's a way where we make different pronouncements. We have different statements. But at the end of the day, it's all about happiness. People talk about financial freedom. It's not necessarily the money, but it's the feeling that the money gives and the feeling of security that you get from being financially free. People talk about time and location freedom. It is the feeling that you're chasing. We're all chasing a feeling. It's perception. It's how to make you feel, how your emotions run through you. And that is everything. People who are egotistic, it's the way that the things and that they do and the things that they have and their opinions and their respect, how it makes them feel. That's what they're chasing. If you take out the feeling, everything would be empty. And those feelings are connected to different things, to our past, to our environment, to our perception of the world, and our genetics, all that stuff. But everything is a feeling, and that's what we are chasing. And we want to talk about this morning, how do we get to where we want to be in terms of improving ourselves? What are the two main concepts of self-improvement? And why self-improvement? Well, if you cannot grow, then you cannot become better. If you cannot become better, you can never become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you cannot be happy. And if you cannot be happy, then what else is there? Or I think Rick Mars said that. And we are all trying to improve ourselves. We all either are thinking about it, we all either are fantasizing about it, we all either are working on it. There's something in us that knows that would like to look better physically. I said better physically. Would like to be better off financially. Would like to be better with our relationships. And we all crave that. So for people who care about their lives, people who are in their right state, people who are not in any form of a chronic depression or suicidal mode, you will always find them being open to self-improvement. And some people flirt with it, some people are working on it, some people are thinking about it, some people know that they should do it, some people are in desperate need of it, but only few people actually take on the challenge, because it is not easy. There are two things working against you, and each thing feed into the other. Two main things. First, there is common impulses. That is the natural inclination of human being to prefer ease and comfort over uncertainties and pain. We're motivated by either pain or pleasure, avoidance of pain or the pursuit of pleasure. Those are two principal foundational motivations as human beings. Now, our brains are wired for comfort. Your brain don't necessarily want to be doing the hard work that it is capable of doing. What it would like to do, it would like to remain in the norm, in the comfortable, in the easy. It optimizes. It wants to form a pattern, and it wants to run that pattern based on the human nature. Human nature wants to sit around, avoid pain. Exercise is pain. Reading for a long time, focusing on something that is outside of what you want to do is pain. Everything that doesn't tie into who you are, what your natural inclinations are, is usually painful. And also, there are some things that is associated with your natural inclinations that are important but are painful. You don't like that aspect of it. There are people who love to work out, but they hate squats. Squats are important. There are people who love to work out, but they hate cardio. Cardio is important. So the brain is doing all sort of things to come back to its foundational need and desire to be comfortable. Now, that's our biggest challenge. Environment is heavy because the environment is feeding these common impulses. There are triggers, there are ads, they are our friends, they are the norm, they are the same environment. Everything around us is feeding that common impulse, and thus makes it extremely difficult for us to change. The thing is, self-improvement requires change. What the brain would like, as one writer said, is we hate change and we love it at the same time. We would like for things to change, but we would like for it to remain the same. And that is extremely instructive. So we want the end result, but nobody wants the process. People don't even want to think about the process. To such an extent that if someone comes up out of nowhere, achieve great things, people don't and say, well, you can do it through hard work. People won't even admit that. People want to say, look, the guy was lucky, or the guy came from affluence, or the guy had a good connection, some crap. And that is how the brain works. The mind works that way. It wants to develop a habit of copying out of everything that is difficult. So that natural inclination to crave ease, to pursue ease, to avoid pain, is one of the main things that's holding us back. The next point, last point that I would mention today in wanting to improve ourselves, but most people never get to improve themselves, is the idea of the lack of consistency. Now, this gets most people based on the premise that people don't stop to understand how things work. They either are overthinking it or underthinking it. They either are underestimating their potential, overestimating their potential, or have some distorted view of how things really work. So here's somebody who wants to lose a certain amount of weight in 6 months. Want to change the way their body look. Maybe for just for an event, or maybe for the long haul. So first, we all know this is since the beginning of time. This is not new. It is eat less, move more. Eat healthier stuff. Do more consistent physical activity, structured workout. But as human beings, our thinking is flawed in the sense that we know in ourselves that we took 7 years to get to where we are. But we would love to, because we're now suddenly struck with the desire, we would love to take 7 weeks to undo the 7 years. And it is a painful and stressful concept for us to get ourselves to be patient in working through this, because it is going opposite the way of natural inclination. So nobody wants to work through that. Why would you work through that? I mean, yeah, it took 7 years to get here, but there is Tom look like this. There is Nadine looks like that. There is Claudette, there's Anne, they look this way, I want to look this way now too. I can't wait. There's a party, there is a function, there's a dress, there's something, I want to look that way now. So what we do is that we try to circumvent the core principles. So you hear eat less, move more for a consistent period of time, but you don't want that. So you adjust your logic to fit your emotions, and that's how marketers get you, and they start to tell you that you can lose 60 pounds in 6 days, and you can take this pill, or you can do this hack, or you can drink this tea, and you know that that's not how things work. But you now started to suddenly tell yourself that there is a new way, there's a quick way, let's do this. And many people find out that because they are trying to go for quick, they were, for example, say, weighing 200 pounds or 180 pounds, and they go for quick, lost 30, add back on 80. So now they are 230, because no habits have been formed. They're not sticking to the fundamentals. They're thinking that it's just a baseline. They are in control of what they eat, how they feel, and they can willpower their way into not doing that and not doing that. And when the brain launches attack on them, they realize that they are waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning to eat something, and they're okay with it because the brain has supplied them with some form of thinking that makes them feel okay. Like, oh, well, we're all going to die one day. Something have to kill us. Might as well indulge in this food. See my aunt there. She's much younger than me. See my friend there. She's much younger than me. They died. Who cares? I'm comfortable in my body. With little weight is not bad. What if I eat this thing just now in the night? I'm going to eat what I want. I don't care. And the brain supplied them with another set of logic. And all of a sudden, they think that they're in total control when realistically they're not in control at all. And this gets so many people, so many of us. So what is the point here? We firstly don't understand or not willing to accept how things work. We think we have the best handle on everything, not realizing that our minds have the handle on things, and an unconditioned mind will give you any old usual result that you don't want. So thinking that you can wake up one morning and snap into the new person is sometimes the biggest lie we tell ourselves. And because of that, we might be able, in a good moment in the mornings when we just wake up and everything is fine and there are no big issues going around, we can jump up and will our way into something, and our willpower is at its peak. We're in a good mood and everything is fine, and the environment is around us is good, it's not hot, it's cool, our bellies we full, we all right, so we make a good decision. But then tomorrow, when all hell breaks loose, our boss is on us, our spouse is on us, the kid has issues, we have all other sort of things to do, we become weak and our willpower fades and we give in. And that rolls into the point of how inconsistent and how inconsistency sucks the life from our ability to improve ourselves. So first, we don't know how things work. Secondly, our brains are working against us, our minds and the environment. And thirdly, this cause and feed into the golden key, the master key into changing anything, and that is persistent consistency. Persistent, consistent, ruthlessness, conviction, and commitment. Those are strong words. Those are life-changing words. Being inconsistent and overthinking or underthinking. So here's a person who wants to do sit-ups, and they think that the big deal here is saying, okay, I'm going to do sit-ups for 6 months and I'll lose this tummy, not realizing that their issues, and I'm using weight loss because it's probably the easiest thing to do, to work with, most relatable thing, but you can apply to any area of your life. Here's a person worrying about doing some sit-ups to lose 5 pounds and thinking of all the things that they are to do, and the gym and the personal coach and the exercise gears and the water bottle and the exercise equipment and all the peripheral devices, ignoring the fact that the real most difficult, the thing that needs to be focused on most is forming the habit. Because outside of creating a habit, your consistency can never be built into your life. Because we're not run on willpower. We are not run on mental strength and mental toughness, as you see people coming out here and talking about. We're run on habits as human beings. It is the wiring in the brain, the elastic pathways that are formed in the brain, that are reworked into a pattern that holds the human being accountable, that have a background program that runs, that fuels that activity that you want to do. That's going to be the golden key. If I didn't develop a habit to work out since school, I don't know what if I would ever work out in the past 15 years, 10 years, let's say. I wouldn't do it because there's so many things that's happening. My son is 6 years old. Now you imagine, I have missed a year of exercise and I still get back on track and manage to add back the consistent routine in my life. Why? Because the habit is hardwired in me. I'm not discounting the fact that I may have a genetic disposition or leaning to working out, to being concerned about my health and fitness, because I understand some of us have that. I'm not denying that, but I know that forming the habit is your most powerful ally, because the habit is what consistency is grounded in. Not your willpower, not your mental toughness, not your personality, none of that stuff. If you cannot form the habits, you cannot make it work. If you cannot form the habit to do anything, you cannot make anything work. It's a habit. Some habits we think about as habits, so we know, but a lot of other things are actual habits, and we talk about those another time, that we don't even know that they're habits. And the reason why we're doing them all the time is because they're habits. And we're sucked into it, and if there are regressive habits, our life keep progressing. If there are progressive habits, our lives keep progressing. So I wanted to make that point this morning, that your consistency is a master key. And knowing how things work and building those habits in your life is how you're going to improve yourself. And if you cannot improve yourself, you cannot get yourself from where you are to where you want to be. Have a great day, my friends. Always a pleasure. Thank you.